um, as we start to see places where regulation is hindering our approach, is for whatever reason is an issue, we come up with solutions. And what we've come up with as the main solution for this, while we're working out the regulatory, the compliance side of things, the Swiss SRO, the MiCA license in the EU, the licensing in the states for the money transmission businesses on the state to state level, all these things, they're very, very complex. Take a lot of time, effort, money, attorneys, and a lot of different resources to get them across the line. So what we're doing in the meantime is we're moving the entire business, the entire back end of the business, so whatever powers our ecosystem, to a Web3 decentralized technology. Now, this is exciting for a couple different reasons. First of all, it will improve the payouts. Now, you may not have seen that over the last couple weeks here, as we've been transitioning, and this is pretty normal for a platform of our size. We're starting to get to the place where we're scaling nicely. But when we have these types of technological changes and advances, I would say this is moving forward the business of Aurum through the Nero ecosystem, through the Nero Web3 tech. We're always going to have growing pains, and I think that's what you've seen over the last few days here. And that should be completely finished, done by tomorrow, possibly the day after. We're working very hard to complete all of these full decentralization of all of our technologies. So this is an exciting thing. We announced it back then. We're actually doing it today. We're doing it yesterday. We're doing it the day before. We're doing it the day of the airdrop. All of these things that you're seeing here are part of our decentralization effort and moving to a truly Web3 ecosystem where the payouts come, virtually immediately, where things are all on chain for people to be able to see and track and things of that nature. So that's really exciting. Secondly, we're expanding the Aurum's global regulated financial infrastructure footprint, and that we're doing by, like I said, a couple different strategies, but mainly the SRO in Switzerland and a couple other things. Now, with the Web3 decentralized side of things, we're also having some major AI product ecosystem updates. So we're making updates across the entire sort of suite of products of the company. Uh, and that brought with it the launch of the Nero community campaign, which I'll go into here in a second. But it was we had a little bit of a hiccup, a little bit of a problem, but it was a very successful campaign for us. And that allowed us to airdrop the token. Um, Also start to build towards a future where we have a Nero DEX, and this is going to be the utility token of this DEX of the ecosystem of our back office. It's going to work across the board. We also presented we you guys have known about this for a while, but the Aurum RWA Bali, and expanding this, we gave away a few prizes on stage at Antalya. And we also announced that the next event is going to be in conjunction with RWA in Bali. So it's an exciting time for everyone to be there. And then finally finishing off the event announcements, we did the shareholder bonus. We delivered that and announced it on the stage, and we announced the qualification and the launch for the Bali event. So let's get down to business here. What is it that I wanted to talk to you guys about? The airdrop is complete. It was successfully launched. Again, like I said, we had a hiccup at the beginning. We paused it. Uh, it looks like we had wound up handing out approximately, I think the number was 14 million Nero tokens, 14.26 million Nero tokens. And we handed this out to a total of 2,413 wallet addresses. Now, we used a random assigning of the quantities to these different wallets, and we are going to revisit this and make sure that it's as equitable as we can. But we did complete the successful launch. It increased our on-chain activity immensely, which is one of the main goals and one of the reasons we did that. But what it did is it showed us that the transition over to Nero is something that is coming, that we're working very hard on, and that we want to make sure that we get right. And this was sort of a little soft, let's call it launch, sort of a test run, if you will, for getting that right. So I want to thank all of the tech team that stayed up, days and days straight trying to get this right, trying to get this sorted. When things did go wrong, it took us a very, very short amount of time to get things turned around and to get things right. So I'm very proud of what the team's done. I've not seen, in my experience, a lot of perfect launches on these kinds of things, and so I think all in all we did quite well. The Nero Community Airdrop uh, was officially completed, and again, there'll be more information on this, but it's a pretty exciting time. So what comes next? So I think what we're focused on here is building the foundation for the Nero ecosystem. So we had a successful launch on the airdrop. This is going to strengthen our community. We're going to continue to do more things like this. We're going to continue to increase our on-chain activity. And this establishes a growing network of verified Web3 users. And that's what is very important for very, very many different factors. First of all, because it'll help us get the token listed on an exchange. Second of all, it helps us with other on-chain metrics that are important, not only for the business today, but into the future. And it also gives us, like I said, a dry run, a test run of how our Web3, our decentralized based ecosystem will be working now and into the future. So, yeah, it gives us on-chain activity. It gives us exchange readiness. It gives us community growth that can be measured. That's important. And then it gives us verified wallet base that we can then use to drive the community of future wallet airdrops, future communications, future things that are needed with the wallet. So yeah, all in all, I think it's been a very good start. It has not been without its hiccups. We did have our issues, but we fixed those very quickly, and we're proud to say that the airdrop is done. So the Nero token, what is this all about? It's the native token for the Nero ecosystem. So it's going to be used across different apps, across different parts of the back office of the Nero apps, both in Android and Google, excuse me, Android and iOS, but also on a web browser and other. This makes an important milestone for the evolution of the Nero ecosystem. I think it's really important. We were really careful at the beginning of my time to not launch a token before the time was right. And now we believe that the time is right to have this token out there in the market. And we believe it's going to be a very successful token. But the future will tell on that. Time will tell the longevity of the project, the amount of users that we can bring in, the growth of the business. I mean, there's a lot of factors that go into the value of this token, and I think we all need to be very clear about that and work very hard to make sure that the token does have value. Now, we're working also on building even a stronger ecosystem. So the community airdrop, uh, what it did was it helped us to expand the verified participation from our on-chain activity. And this is important, like I said, for many reasons in decentralized finance, in DeFi, as it were. On-chain activity and provable on-chain activity from wallet addresses in your community is very, very important. And that's really what is the most important thing that we got out of this. It shows that the Aurum community is a very strong community and will help us with these types of projects when we need them. So uh, the the estimated airdrop allocation pool was $1 million. As mentioned, we did hand out more than that. So yeah, it's been a very, very successful airdrop for us. Now this is really the main thing I wanted to come on here and say. I don't have a lot of magic words for everyone. We're not coming out with a new product that's going to fix everyone's problems in the world, but what we are doing is we're working on fixing some of the things that have been happening in the legal regulatory compliance world, specifically in the European region, right? So we have been working with legal counsel in the European region. And one of the things that's been recommended to us is that until we do have our full MiCA licensing in the European region, that we do move towards a Web3 powered infrastructure while we're completing the MiCA licensing. And so I think this is a very standard approach from a lot of different Web3 companies, and it's the same one that we're going to be using. But what it does is it enables Aurum to continue to operate globally through Web3, so decentralized infrastructure, while we're preparing for the next stage of the regulated part, both in Europe and in other highly regulated markets such as the US, Singapore, and some of the other, globally, the UK, some of the other global financial hubs out there. So I think this is a really exciting time for all of us. I think what you've seen over the last couple of weeks, months, whatever, has been sort of this transition that we realized that we needed to start making, and we started doing in a slow manner. And I think what you're going to see over the next couple of days here, that change is coming to an end. So our platform will be fully decentralized. You will have the same access to the same products and services, but they won't be riding on the exact same infrastructure that they did before, that they were originally built on. The AI part of it stays the same. The algorithm stays the same. The trading logic stays the same. But what changes is the custodial nature of what we had before is now out the door. And now every single person has their own wallet infrastructure, their own custody of their own funds on their own wallet that then interacts with the smart contract that allows you to participate in the products and services of the Aurum family. So this is a really exciting time. It's taken us, like I said, a long time and a lot of really hard work to get to this point. But I think that we're pretty ready to make this full transition. The testing should be done in the coming, like I said, 24, 48 hours, and we'll have that full transition done. Now, there's going to be a few other things that we want to show you guys. I don't have them ready to show you on this call. I was hoping to, but there's a couple things that we'll be dropping short tutorial videos and FAQs, so frequently asked questions, sort of documents, if you will, to be able to help you with things like the swap of the token or the flow of the back office with the new decentralized wallets, and the fact that you're connecting your wallet to it rather than withdrawing it to a wallet address as you were before. So I think, these are things that we can start to teach those that don't know how to do them, or that it seems complex to. It's actually more simple, more secure, better product for our users in the end. We just got to show everyone that now, and work real hard to make sure that we have the right types of training, the right types of documentation on these different procedures that we have. So the processes work really well. We just need to teach everyone how to do it now. So yeah, what we have is a fully Web3 powered ecosystem operating through a Web3 infrastructure, which allows us to continue to expand our ecosystem while we're doing the licensing side of it. So yeah, again, I think it's a real smart strategy. But the Web3 processing, all deposits, all withdrawals go through the Web3 infrastructure. This means you still have self-custody of your wallet. It still sits in your wallet that you can control. You can unplug it from the ecosystem at any time you want, disconnect it, or you can continue to fund it and fund more of the products and services that we have inside of the Aurum ecosystem. What it also allows for is a global operations while we are sorting out the MiCA license in Europe and the SRO licensing in Switzerland, and like I said, in some of the other highly regulated jurisdictions. As we prepare for MiCA, as we prepare for this gives us the chance to continue to grow the business and continue to operate the business in a Web3 non-custodial manner. So the regulatory landscape is definitely changing. This is something that we saw, throughout last year as MiCA was coming on June 30th or July 1st or whatever the exact date for cutover was. We saw a lot of action from the regulator. And this is very normal because if you didn't have your full MiCA license and it wasn't implemented into the business the way they wanted it by that date, well, then you weren't supposed to continue to offer products and services to the European Union, at least on the fiat side, and as it relates to exchanges and custody and all these things, right? And so this is exactly what we're doing. This regulatory requirement, they're going to continue to evolve, and each jurisdiction has its own flavor, its own brand of this, but they are moving towards stricter compliance standards, and that's why we're doing what we're doing, while at the same time going down the path of this regulatory sort of direction that's happening. So what this includes is enhanced KYC, compliance for the anti-money laundering and regulatory oversight and transaction monitoring. A lot of other things I think you're going to see come into the crypto world. So I think we need to start to really understand the difference between a decentralized technology and a centralized technology, like an exchange that has a license in a European country and has access to banking rails that can move fiat from to crypto, crypto to fiat. These are different kinds of institutions than the institutions that are operating in the non-custodial space in a decentralized manner uh, on a Web3 platform, strictly not touching fiat. And so these are the distinctions. This is the sort of the battle line that's being drawn in the sand. I think it's very clear from a European regulator and banking standpoint what their decision is. But I think it's also very clear that the world is deciding that there's a huge value in decentralized technology, that Web3 is here to stay, and that it gives access to things uh, to people that need it, and that will continue to use it in parts all the rest of the world, in parts of Africa, Asia, Americas, the Middle East, everywhere you can imagine. We have access to decentralized technologies. We have access to DeFi, and we're going to continue to use those in a responsible and legal manner, but they don't go under the same regulatory environment as the centralized exchanges do, as the banking environment does, as the fiat on and off ramp and rails do. And so I think this is probably the most important thing that I can stress to everyone is we're on the right side of this thing. We're on the innovation side. We're on the technology side. But that doesn't mean it's not without its hiccups. It's not without its speed bumps sometimes. So our long-term strategy does not change. We're a Web3 company. We always have been. We've always wanted to move towards this custody side of things. But at the beginning, we started the business in a different way, and we've moved towards this with Nero and with some of the other things. So, what's the next stage? It's a European MiCA license. It's licensing in the United States. It's licensing at, like I said, at the major financial hubs around the world. And we continue to build our Web3 infrastructure. We continue to build Nero out. We continue to move the back end of our products and services over to a Web3 infrastructure so that we can have a truly decentralized product, so that we can have truly non-custodial products and services for those that need them and want them. So Web3 asset operations, what stays the same? This is just the closing slide here, and then I'll wrap up with a couple words, of my own. But what stays the same? Your products and business remain unchanged. That's the number one thing. Trading strategies, investment logic, those continue to operate the same as they did before. The transition affects the infrastructure only, not the ecosystem, not your business, not your structure, not your none of that stuff, right? That stuff stays the same. It only affects the technology behind that this rides on. What changes for users? Well, there's a couple things. Um, but really not that much. All deposits and withdrawals and their benefits for users are going to be processed through your connected Web3 wallet. So this is going to go directly into your wallet. You're going to maintain full control of your digital assets through this self-custody manner. So through this proper maintenance and proper key management of this wallet, you stay in full control of your assets, and all asset operations are processed securely and transparently on chain. So this is exactly what we've been wanting to build. This is exactly the direction Aurum has been going since I became an advisor to the company, so many months ago. This is what we've all been going for. So uh, I think that's basically the message that I want to give to you guys is we're almost done with the transition to Web3. We're within, I'd say, 48 hours of this being completely done, completely switched over, and I think you're going to see a lot of really, really positive changes to the payouts, to some of the other things. So yeah, that's all from my side. There's a couple other things I do want to say though. Um, as we scale a company, we went from, I don't know, under 10,000 associates about a year ago to around 300,000 associates today. So that's 30x growth. I think any company that can keep the wheels on in that kind of growth, let alone continue to grow, continue to build and ship new products, I think is commendable. If you take a look at some of the top sort of unicorns out there that have grown through these sort of hyper scaling phases, I think you can see a lot of issues, right? I used to use Revolut, years ago, and they weren't quite what they are today, but they weren't, a very small company either. And I just remember how much problems I had with deposits every now and again. And I remember how many issues I had with support when something went wrong, or when there was a charge on my credit card, I didn't realize how difficult it was to get these guys to do something for me, right? And I always thought, why is it so hard? And then I went to Binance and I saw exactly firsthand how hard it is to scale a tech company. But inside of a tech company, you have a lot of other little companies, right? You have a support company, and I want to say something about support real quickly because I know, at the event, a lot of people ask me about their specific support, their specific ticket number, their specific case. And while I don't comment directly on the cases at an event like that because I just don't have them all memorized in my head, I can say a couple things about it, right? First of all, um, support is always going to be an issue when you have a problem, right? Like, I don't care how good support is, if you have an issue that's not getting solved, it's not good support, right? And until you get that issue solved, you're going to feel like you've been wronged, or something bad has happened, or this isn't the way it's supposed to be. And I think that's a natural thing. I would feel the same way. I think everyone feels the same way, right? But what we need to remember is that during this time of building this business, of scaling it to where we want to get it, to $1 billion company, to a $10 billion company, to where we have thousands of millionaires that we've created in this business. I think we're gonna go through some rocky patches, and support is one of those that I've seen in every tech business I've been in, is very, very difficult to scale. It takes a long time to train people. People leave in one heartbeat of a second if they don't like the job or the pay or whatever. And then you have to train other people, and keeping that funnel filled on support is very, very difficult. And I can say this to you: we're currently solving over 1,000 tickets a day. So 1,000 support tickets a day are being handled. And so if you're, part of that, small percentage of tickets that haven't been handled, or have problems that the support people haven't seen before, or don't know how to fix at the first go, or aren't getting back to you because something fell through the cracks. I think, it's really, really frustrating, but I also think we need to take it with a grain of salt. And as one of my dear friends would say, we need to stay cool, and we need to continue to do what we need to do on our side, continue to follow up with support, make sure we have a ticket number, make sure that we're documenting our side of it, but we also need to understand that we're doing our best on this side, and we're growing the support staff to multiple dozens of people out there, and it's something that is being fixed and is getting better. It's just it takes a long time to get it as we continue to grow and as we continue to scale. I think another thing that I want to mention, because it's really frustrating, is the whole airdrop thing. When you have an airdrop, and when you do an airdrop the right way, it's a beautiful thing, and it goes magically and smoothly, and but when something goes wrong, and when you find a little bit of an issue, how do you fix that? How do you shut it down? How do you do the right thing for all the people that were affected, and still continue forward with your airdrop? I think those are some of the things that we faced over the last several days here, and I have to say that I think the team, did a really good job, and no one's money was lost. We got everything back to everyone. We still got the airdrop completed. We got the tokens out there. We got the wallet count up that we needed, and so all in all, it went really well. And there's probably people out there saying, Brian, you don't know my story, you don't know my case, you don't know, what happened on my end. And you're right, I don't know every single one, and I've seen a lot of messages, but I haven't seen them all. And so, but again, I want everyone to remember the wise words of Tom. And while we're growing this thing, while things are happening, we just need to stay cool, and we need to focus on what we can do, which is, document what has happened, document in the best way possible, get a ticket number, and move it through there. So, that's all I want to say about that. But yeah, the team has done a really good job. We will always have issues, but how do we fix the issues? How do we provide solutions to the people that are in these situations. That's really where we can differentiate ourselves from a lot of other tech companies, and that's what we're focused on doing. So I want to wrap up there. I want to thank everyone that jumped on the call. We topped out here at 1.7 thousand people. So thank you for coming in to hear my humble words about this. But it's really important for everyone to understand that technology and innovation and what we're building on a Web3 uh, standpoint is really, really a special thing. And as we're moving to a more decentralized ability to offer these products and services, our business is only getting stronger. It's only getting better. And I think everyone out there should s- take a step back from the frustrations of the minutia of the day-to-day sort of problems that we have, small little issues, and understand that we're building something here that could be a game changer for a lot of people. That is changing generations, that's changing lives. I had so many people. While there's people that came up to me with support issues, I had more people come up to me and say, "Hey, Brian, you changed my life. Thank you. Hey, Brian, I'm a millionaire thanks to you now." And I always said the same thing. It's not thanks to me. It's thanks to your hard work. It's thanks to the team at Aurum. It's thanks to Ahmed, who helped from the very early days and got me into this, and is one of our co-founders. It's thanks to everyone around here, and I appreciate people thanking me, but realize that it was more than just me. It's not me that's doing these things. It's all of us as a team. It's all of our tech team. It's all of the back office team. It's all of the team that's building this. It's all of the initial investors that invested into this and get this built. And so I had one guy come up to me and say, "Brian, look at my new teeth I got thanks to Aurum and thanks to you." And it was just a really a humbling moment for me to hear all these people thank me and want to take pictures with me and want to say a kind word also. And I think it's very important to stress that, right? We don't have a company full of problem makers and support tickets and issues. We have a company full of wonderful people that build the most amazing business. And we on the tech side and we on the corporate side are trying to always provide the products and services to match the needs of the wonderful people that we have out there in the community and across the entire world. And so, with that being said, I want to again thank everyone for all of the hard work. Thank Ahmed for all he's done. Thank Shane. Thank all the top leaders. Thank the support team. And yeah, from my side, that's all. I hope everyone has a wonderful rest of their weekend, a good close to the month. And yeah, August is coming soon, so let's get going. And we only have a little bit more time to qualify for the Bali trip, and I'd love to see as many new faces as I can in Bali. I think Bali is probably going to be one of our biggest events, so it's a good opportunity, a good chance for each and every one of you to qualify out there. Even though it may be difficult, even though you think you can't, even though it's hard, I would suggest that you try because this is where some of the most amazing conversations happen. This is where some of the most amazing people congregate, unite, celebrate, but also share wisdom, share insights, share tidbits on how to build a strong business. And so, yeah, from my side, thank you very much to everyone. It's been wonderful speaking with you guys, and I hope everyone has a good rest of their evening, day, or week, wherever they are. Much love to the Orem family. Thank you. Goodbye.